they're just not serious, intellectual, intelligent individuals who should be representing us. Last week, we talked a lot about the redistricting battle going on surrounding Texas. And we talked about, look, whatever your ideas are on this, the idea that of all the places the Texan lawmakers could have fled to, they went to Illinois, which is one of the most gerrymandered states in the entire country. Maybe J.B. Pritzker was paying for all their hotel rooms and everything else. But even left-wing media were not able to overlook how hypocritical that was. And so J.B. Pritzker went on Meet the Press to try to make the argument that this was unacceptable. And we've got a couple of different cuts here of Meet the Press. I referred to this, I think, on social media, Buck, as the equivalent of the Russian judge disqualifying the Russian skater. You've got the whole rig job in your favor, and you still get absolutely lambasted like this. Here is cut 11, J.B. Pritzker getting challenged on Meet the Press.
Every major group that grades the fairness of congressional maps gives your state an F. Common Cause, a nonpartisan government watchdog, even says your map, and I'm going to quote, represents a nearly perfect model for everything that can go wrong with redistricting. We talk about preserving democracy. How do you preserve democracy if you're using the same tactics that you've criticized Texas Republicans for?
What they're talking about is a distraction. The reality is that the violation of people's voting rights is what Texas is attempting to do. That's what's wrong with their efforts right now. And the fact that the president of the United States knows it and nevertheless is asking them to do it. That is what's wrong with what we're seeing right now. Democracy is at stake.
These people him, are morons.
Yeah. This is him thinking, I can just talking points steamroll the fact that my argument is trash. The argument that is being made by Democrats on this, especially people like Pritzker, who are coming from a state like Illinois, is garbage. All they're saying is, I don't like when they do what I do. When they do it, it's bad. When I do it, it's good. That is the sum total of their argument, to be clear. There's nothing beyond that. It's Republicans are icky, they're bad, I'm good, so I get to do the things that they do, and you're supposed to like it when I do it and not like it. I mean, this is like arguing with toddlers. They have nothing beyond that. Notice he didn't even engage with what she said. You don't have to know anything about gerrymandering. If you look at a map of congressional districts in Illinois, you'd say to yourself, what the heck is that? It's bizarre.
Yeah. And she followed up, but I do think this is important, what you just said. And I think the media is getting a little bit embarrassed, even as shameless as they are. They're starting to recognize that Texas is just catching up and doing what California and Illinois and New York already did. In other words, the redistricting in Texas is just lagging behind. And we had Greg Abbott on last week, essentially in many ways making that argument. But Buck, to her credit, Kristen Welker followed up after that non-answer from J.B. Pritzker and said, wait a minute, President Trump, as we told you on this program, won 44% of the vote in 2024. It was, look, Texas and Florida were actually not as competitive as Illinois was, I believe, if you look at the raw numbers. Illinois, which is a deep blue state, Trump got almost 45% of the vote. Listen to cut 12.
I do want to look at the map of Illinois. Let's take a look at this. Despite President Trump winning 44% of the statewide vote in 2024, Republicans hold only 3 of Illinois' 17 districts. These districts seem to be designed to maximize Democratic advantage. What do you say to those who argue that it's hypocritical for you to criticize Texas for partisanship when your state also drew maps to boost your party's standing?
Well, remember that what Texas is trying to do is, again, violate the Voting Rights Act. You talked about how rare it is to do what he's doing. Yes, it is. What's even rarer is to do it at the behest of the President of the United States, who's clearly attempting to and says that he deserves to have 5 more seats. He's wrong.
I mean,
non-argument. He doesn't even make an argument.
I just look at so many of these political figures, and there are Republicans in this camp too. They're just not serious, intellectual, intelligent individuals who should be representing us. I mean, J.B. Pritzker is supposed to be one of the forerunner favorites for Democrats in 2028. He's been elected multiple times, I believe, already in Illinois. His daddy's a billionaire, and so he's a billionaire. He's not an impressive person, but some of you may be aware, football is basically back. Preseason football is underway, and that means that Buck's favorite player, George Pickles, has taken the field again anew, and we're going to be giving you, I'll start maybe on Thursday of this week, picks for the NFL and for college football as all of this is starting to roll back into the season. And that means it's fun for Prize Picks. We're going to try to win. Really easy to use. I give you a pick. We hope to hit a 5-1, 10-1. All we have to do is pick more or less on player achievement. I put them out there for you, and we are ready to roll. It is super easy to use. You can play in California. You can play in Texas. You can play in Georgia. You can play in where Buck is in Florida, where I am in Tennessee. 13 million of you signed up. You get $50 when you play $5. All you have to do is go to prizepicks.com, code CLAY. That's prizepicks.com, code CLAY. $50 instantly when you play $5. If you love football, and I know a lot of you do, football season is back. You can still stay Major League Baseball, NBA, NHL, tennis, golf, whatever sport you like is out there, NASCAR. But get hooked up right now. We're going to be giving you picks in football. That's prizepicks.com, code CLAY. Prizepicks.com, code CLAY.